All right, so let me set it up. It was July '02. I was 17 years old. I was about to head off to college the next week. I was celebrating the 1-year anniversary of a long-term relationship with this girl. Normally date night was McDonald's followed by a little walk around Walmart. But it was the 1-year anniversary, so I decided I was gonna go all out. I got us reservations at a hibachi grill, because nothing screams intimate like sitting around a hibachi grill with 10 other people. And borrowed my mom's car, way cleaner than mine, and we took off towards town. It was like a 30-minute drive to get into the city. Did the whole dinner, went to the movie, and on the way back, I was 17 and I was thinking about one thing. We had 30 minutes to get home, we had an hour till curfew, and I was trying to figure out how I could get those 30 minutes in a parking lot kissing my girlfriend. I'm not very smooth, and so I was like, hey, we've got an hour, what do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, we could go to the parking lot and, I don't know, we could talk. I mean, we could do that if you want to, which wasn't really what I was thinking. And so we had this conversation, and I'm trying to get it towards like, let's go make out. And I was blown away at what she said. She kind of put her hand on my hand, and it was, you know, kind of in the middle, doing the old hold my hand in the middle thing. And she said, Ryan, I'm willing to have sex with you tonight if it means we could stay together when you go to college. And in that moment, I had a very big decision to make. And on one hand, the boy, the man, the testosterone in me was going, oh my goodness, this is a great opportunity. And then the other part of me is going, but man, I've made this promise to God that I was going to save myself for marriage. It was a big decision. It was, what do I want right here? What do I want in this moment? Or what do I want for the long haul? And from the perspective of what do I want in this moment, the decision would have been easy. But from the perspective of what do I want for the long haul, it took on a whole different decision-making process. But one mistake I'm glad I never regret is that I never went through and had sex with that girl. And I got to tell Blair on our wedding night, hey, you're the first person I've had sex with. But really what it came down to is this. Do I make the decision for the moment, or do I make the decision in this moment for the long haul?
So growing up, I was always told to do the right thing, to go to church, to accept Jesus. I always did the right thing. I was told to do the right thing, and I kind of followed that path all throughout elementary school and going into middle school. You see, I fell more into the self-gratification world, as it may be, but I didn't always see it that way, because I was told, don't store up your treasures in heaven. But in my head, I was like, okay, so don't worry about money or buying things. That's what that meant. Moving into middle school, I started to get involved in things. I started to worry about what was important to me, what was important to what I wanted and what I needed. For example, when I got into 7th and 8th grade, I got into some trouble with alcohol and then with sex. And doing that, I now have a 10-year-old son. Right after that, it's like, wow, you know, I sinned, I feel bad, I'm sorry, God, I apologize. But then I slipped right back into that same pattern of, well, it only matters about me. So in my head, I'm going, well, I worship God and I love God, but I still do things that make me happy, that aren't furthering His kingdom and allowing me to live the life that God wants me to live. As I got into high school, I had more problems with drinking and alcohol and trying to please my friends and do things that would make me happy. In fact, even getting in trouble with the law when I was a senior in high school, just because I thought a prank would be funny with a friend and that it would make everybody think I was cool, which obviously that wasn't the result. Instead, I just got in a lot of trouble. So this kind of continued on and on and on. I went to college, and for a year in college, I didn't even go to church. I didn't even try to. I would go every once in a while, and then it'd be like, yay, this is great, I love it. And the whole time I considered myself a Christian and considered myself to be living a decent life, but the whole time just living for myself and what was important to me. When I moved back to Jacksonville from going to UCF, a friend of ours asked us to go to church with them. After a few weeks of going there, it was just a different feeling. I was kind of learning things that I hadn't learned before. And one of the things I learned about was eternal gratification, learning that it was important that what I was doing now would affect me, A, later in life, and B, it would affect how I was furthering God's kingdom. So my life kind of changed at that point, and I started to realize that I can't live for myself. I can't do the things that I want to do that are going to be best for me, but instead I have to do the things that are going to be best for God, the things that God wants for me.